Caution: observe all precautions when removing and replacing components. Before you begin, remove the bottom cover, bottom bracket, and top cover. Removal: peel back the adhesive metal foil over the power button board cable. Disconnect the power button board cable from the system board. Turn the base enclosure over. Carefully disconnect the wireless antenna cables from the wireless LAN module. Caution: use care when disconnecting the wireless antenna cables from the wireless LAN module. Damaged cables or connectors can degrade notebook performance. Remove the 4mm P1 Phillips-head screw that secures the DC-in power bracket through the system board to the base enclosure. Lift and remove the DC-in power bracket. Remove the 3 additional 4mm P1 Phillips-head screws that secure the system board corners to the base enclosure. Remove the 4mm P1 Phillips-head firmware protection screw from the system board. Note: the firmware protection screw hole is noticeable by the ring of solder contacts not found in the other screw holes. Important: this screw not only helps to secure the system board, but in conjunction with the screw socket, it also acts as a write protect or firmware switch to protect the system's image on the M.2 SSD from being overwritten. Starting at the accessible end of the system board, lift the system board up and its external connectors out of the cutouts in the base enclosure. Remove the system board from the base enclosure. Replacement: note: before installing a new system board, remove the memory, M.2 SSD, wireless LAN module, card reader board, fan, and heatsink from the old system board and install them onto the new system board. While being careful not to pinch and damage the wireless antenna cables, tow the system board with its external connectors into the cutouts along the side of the base enclosure, and then lower it into place over alignment pins and screw standoffs. Replace the 3 4mm P1 Phillips-head screws to secure the system board corners to the base enclosure. Note: do not install the screw next to the DC-in power connector at this time. Important: after installing the new system board, the write protect capability remains off until you replace the firmware protection screw. You need to reassemble the Chromebox without this screw and complete the RMA shim process to apply the recovery image. When you have completed the RMA shim process, you need to disassemble the Chromebox, replace the firmware protection screw in the system board, and then reassemble the Chromebox. When write protect is appropriate, replace the 4mm P1 Phillips-head firmware protection screw into the system board. Tow the DC-in power bracket tab into the guide slot in the base enclosure wall and onto the system board and screw hole. Replace the 4mm P1 Phillips-head screw through the DC-in power bracket to also help secure the system board to the base enclosure. Reconnect the wireless antenna cables to the wireless LAN module. Important: when connecting the wireless antenna cables to the wireless LAN module, match the label number on the wireless antenna cable with the number on the terminal. Caution: use care when connecting the wireless antenna cables to the wireless LAN module. Damaged cables or connectors can degrade notebook performance. Turn the base enclosure over. Connect the power button board cable through the cutout in the base enclosure to the system board. Replace the adhesive metal foil over the power button board cable. Continue the reassembly. Replace the top cover, bottom bracket, and bottom cover.